Hi, welcome to this AFNoding session. I'm going to create something with something like a physical modeling patch again, but you already heard this in the intro, so let's go and see what we can do. First of all, I'm going to delete the inputs and outputs, and I create a change node and multiply it. And I multiply it with the gate, and the input of the change is going to be the gate again. Align the nodes, move them in place, and I'm going to show you now why I do this. It's good to be visualized on the scope, and I'm going to use a gain to mute it and create the outputs with the O key hovering over the output plex. Okay, so here you can see that we are monitoring the output of this multiply, and if I press my key you can see this peak. This is a simple trigger. It's one sample long and that's what I want to have, but it's created using the gate. So I hit a key and you see that the value is 1, the gate is 1 when it's on and 0 if it's off. Let's see what the change node does. I scale it down and move down the B input a bit. And as you can see, whenever the gate value changes, the change outputs 1. So if we multiply these together, we only get a peak whenever the gate gets a value of 1. If it turns to 0, there's no trigger. So this is good for mallets and stuff like this. And now we are going to create a mallet, and for this we are going to need a designer to clean these things up. I'm going to call this designer Resonator, which is not the appropriate term, but for the time being this should do it. I'm going to use a 2P filter. We'll need an input, I will need a pitch input, and I will need a resonance input for sure. And I'm going to use 4 filters, but I'm going to delete this 2P filter for now and create a designer, another one, and I'm going to put the filter inside of it and create the inputs. But here the pitch is going to be converted into hertz, and I'm going to convert it back before to pitch before the pitch input, because I don't want to be in the logarithmic scale. It's easier for me to work this way, and it's easier for everyone, I'm sure. So I'm multiplying the frequency with a value. First I create the resonance input, and for the multiplications B input I rename it to X. I created another input, and the output will be the band output. Yeah, that's fine. So this is going to be our filter, and I connect the input, I connect the pitch, and I connect the resonance, and for this I create a constant. I can a knob using the K. I press the K key over the X and it creates a knob with the value of X. And I set it to centered because I like it better that way. I set it to step mode, and I set the maximum value to 32. This way I can do whole steps, and copy this. And multiply it several times. Oh, didn't want to do that. Align these nodes and connect them to the mixer. Like this. Okay, and this is going to be the output. So the input is here. I'm going to connect these to the inputs. pitches here. Actually, things are pretty much the same, except the X value that's going to be different, that's why it has a knob. And one more thing I wanna do is to divide the output by the value of R, like this. And it should range from 1 to 32. Yeah. This is basically our resonator, or something like that. I connect it to the output of that and here, and I connect the pitch to the MIDI note P, like this, and create the control for resonance. And if I play a note, I set it to something silent so we don't get deaf when I play something and it sounds awful, but hopefully it won't. Okay, actually I can set it louder. Yeah, it's only on the left channel. Okay, this is a pretty weak signal, but we are getting somewhere. We just need something that has a longer fall-off than these simple triggers, so I create an envelope follower modulated, and set the release to something that's higher. Okay, and now we can play around with these values. Let's lower the resonance. Set the exponent to, let's say, 3. I like this sound. Okay, let's do something unusual. No, not yet. Nothing unusual yet. I'm just moving this to the side. And I create a multiplication here. And I will create a noise. A white noise. On the B input of the multiplication. And this way our resonator will use the noise. And the noise will have the envelope of this envelope follower. I set the exponent to 2, so cool. Let's create something a bit more interesting by creating a fake reverb with a simple envelope follower, which is going to be added to this envelope follower, but with a lower intensity. So if we look at these, the output of this envelope follower, actually that's the orange signal, and if you look at this one, I don't see it now. Yeah, it has no input. Yeah, like this. It's like a fake reverb almost. I set it to polyphonic and the maximum voice is R6. These things are in the beta currently. Later on this should be the usual menu. Anyways, let's give this fake reverb an attack using the trigger to gate node and creating a knob for the modulation, and connect the same node to the attack modulation of the envelope follower, turn up the modulation and set the maximum value of the knob to the value you would like to have as maximum. I'm going to stack with 500 milliseconds and I will call this reverb attack like this, and now I set this to a value. Yeah, this is like a fake reverb, which sounds perfect. And something I would like to test out would be, yeah, it goes there, and I want to change the order here, like I want to have a different, no, it's good like this one, so yes, I got it. I will change these to something more strange. Is it worth it? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create an attack using the same method for the like this 500 mod. And this way it should be fine. And to make it a bit more rich sounding, I insert a mixer here. I remove this because it starts to disturb me. Add the output of the resonator as an input. I set the volume to a low level, so we only hear this resonator. We will only hear that. And to keep the patch clean, I create a pitch output here. I just pressed O over the plug and created an output. And I'm going to insert this pitch here. It's basically the same as doing this. I don't know why I did that. I don't do it. It's confusing. And yeah, I rather copy paste this. Sorry if it's hard to follow. As I wrote it, I do this live, and it's pretty tough for me to narrate and do the noding, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it anyways. I changed the overtones, the mixer, and let's see what we have on this second output. And it has a different resonance. It's pretty organic metallic sound. yeah. And basically this is it. We created a mallet. What else we can do is that we use velocity, just multiply the the trigger with the velocity and it should be fine. Actually, no, it's not fine because of the trigger to gate thingy, so it's a bad idea. Don't do it after me, because the gate will always output 1, so we need to we need to multiply the white noise, the volume of the white noise with the velocity. I create a cone here, so it's something that's tidy, and I create another cone so we can see that it's coming from there. And if I play it now, I should be able to have some velocity response. And I have it. We can do the same using this R1. And also with this. But actually I think that it's better to use a crossfader here than instead of this direct multiplication. Like the velocity is going to drive the crossfader's fading value, and I can set this way the minimum when I hit with the lowest velocity. That's going to be input A, and for a moment I move things to the right, and this way I can set the maximum velocity, but for that I just copy paste this node and put it there. So if my velocity is high, I want a lower value because then it's ringing longer. So I'm going to move this a bit higher and yeah, something like that. And do the same with these. Like I move it around and create a crossfade here. This is only to make it more organic. The sound is the same, just the articulation is going to be different when we play it. And one more thing I would like to have is some kind of dampening when we hit it smoother. And I'm going to use a one-pole filter for this. Again, the same way I use a crossfader, plug it into the pitch, and going to use the velocity one more time, like that. This is something like a velocity bus we created here. And for the minimum, I want to use pitch, let's say 80. For the maximum, I'm going to use pitch 128. like this. Yeah, and we can also do something like a reverb, a longer attack for the reverb tail. But this way it's something like an, so I multiply this gate output with the gate input, like that. And now if I release the key, it won't go further. Yeah. So this is out. This is our little bell. One more thing I would like to try. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it is to do something dirty with this noise. So it's now uber dense. Every sample is different. And now I would like to try to make it less dense. So I created an if state or something, if bool. So if the value of the white noise is going to be, if the absolute value, that's better. So if this is between 0 and 1 now, and if this value is bigger than something we will insert here, then we might wanna have an output of 1. And maybe we are not even, no. I leave this change here, because if it's for a longer time above the threshold, because this is nothing more than a threshold, this is something like a gate now. Yeah, this should work. Let's see what we have. And then I'm going to, yeah, I rather do it like multiplying the white noise with 1 and don't use the change. This is more, because this way we get negative values as well on the output. So take a look at this threshold. I'm raising it and what happens if it's a bit. Yeah. And one more thing I want to do is to add another envelope follower here and create a release for that. Okay, we have a sustaining mallet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit hard to follow because this is really not an easy task for me. I'm not native English speaker and okay, I don't want to make excuses. I hope I will get better with time in this, but I hope you like it. And I'm going to upload this patch to the site, so you can download this patch for free and play around with it. It's pretty easy to create nice sounding pads using this kind of technique. And it's organic sounding and fun to play. So, if you like these videos, please subscribe to this channel and follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and anywhere you like. You can create more resonators, you can create more anything. Have fun using Alpha forever. I always have it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.